I tell you why I can't find you. Every time I go out to your place, you gone fishing.
How you know?
Right, I'm going to show you how I tie a bob's bits. Simple fly, but with a little bit of a twist. Now, I do believe that a lot of flies have got to have a trigger point. I put a couple into mine. Just something that makes it stand out from the natural. So I'm going to go through it, put my trigger points in, and hopefully, you know, if you try it, you'll get as much success as I've had with this fly. What I'm going to do is tie a bob's bits, starting off with a Hanek 200 BL. Always tie them on barbless these ones. My rib is just simple 5 pound nylon. Bite it between your teeth just to crush it down a bit. Helps it get a grip when you tie it in. So just snip that in and wind it down. Now, a lot of people would stop it about here. I always like the arse end of the fly sitting in the water. So I take it a little bit further down. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the dubbing. This is new dubbing that I've been having packaged up for Troutwatch. Beautiful, really soft dubbing, but it comes in three sort of sets. One with a pearl added, one with UV. This is just the plain. So I'm using black, wet my fingers and dub it on nice and tight. A few good turns, make sure that it's right in there. Got it about right there now. Push it up to the hook and just nice open turns, wind it back up. Not too much. There you go. Then take the nylon and just rib it with that just to keep everything tied in. Like I say, wouldn't worry whether it's fluorocarbon or nylon, it's all the bloody same. So spin it on there and catch it in a couple of times. That should do it. And then just nip that off. Right, what I'm going to do now is put a half hitch in. At the end of everything I always put a half hitch in. Got sick of things unravelling themselves. So I'm going to use a bit of this, it's like aero wing. I don't think it makes a blind bit of difference to this fly. Don't know why I do it, but I put it in. Just makes me feel as though I'm doing it right. A lot of things with dry fly, a lot of it is down to confidence. If you've got confidence in a fly, you'll catch. Doesn't have to be a spectacular tie-in. Just nip that off there. Now, this is where there's the first little twist comes in. Just do half hitch there. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to turn the fly upside down. Right, this is my first trigger point. Now I do this on most of my dry flies now. Just a tiny bit of pearl. If you can catch it in properly, that should do it. And I just catch that in there. Now, like I say, all my flies, whether it be, you know, I use a lot of bits, whether it be red, orange, brown, whatever, and I do this on all of them. I have found it's made a massive difference to my catch rate. And again, like I say, when it's on the water, it just stands out from the rest. So it gives the fish a reason to go for it. I did have a hackle ready, but that's obviously dropped on the floor. And in our house, I drop it, she picks it up. So pick a new hackle out of the ready to go on here. Just pull the flue off. Got it. And then just line it up to the fly. Make sure you got it the right way around. 4 or 5 turns just to tie it in. And then I give it a good 4 or 5 turns. Some people would say, nah, that's too much. Well, it may be for them, but not for me. Like I say, a lot of this with fly tying is preference. And I find that amount of turns champion. Pull it tight and just snip that bit off. And then snip the tag off. Right, this is where the difference comes in. I don't like me flies sitting upright. Now with that hackle they will do that. But what the pearl does is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and wet the fibres a bit. Just pull them back just a touch so that they're lying on an angle. A bit too much there. and then I tie it, just a couple of whip finishes, but I tie it on an angle now. It just helps them sit back a bit. So again, turn it upside down. Now what I do is I pull the pearl through the hackle. Not right. Pull it through. There you can just see the fibres moving either side, and it splays the hackles out underneath. Now, I don't like any hackles underneath me dries. I don't want it sitting on top, I want it sitting in the film. So just do that, get the pearl in, and then just snip that off. Now again, what I do with me flies like this, where I'm using a cock hackle, just a half hitch, just to keep everything tight. In fact, I'll whip finish it. 4 turns whip finish, that should be enough. Scissors in. One of these days I'll learn how to use a whip finish tool. That's it. I'll just snip that off now. And then there's just a bit of trim to do. And what I don't like hackles underneath now. I'll splay them a bit with a pearl. I will now take every hackle off underneath. The reason being is I want that fly sitting in the film, not on top of it. I want it sitting in the film. If you leave them hackles on, it sits too high, raids, you'll get a lot of abort it takes. So I do this with every dry fly. So got the hackle on the top, a little bit of a wing in there, don't think that makes much difference. Like I say, I'll just dab a tiny bit of super glue on the end just to keep everything in place. Should really use varnish, but it's probably stuck on the drawer somewhere. So it's not a perfect pattern, but it works for me, and I know it works for quite a few of the other lads. Now, as I'm turning that run, just watch this trigger point come out. Just a little bit. And I'm telling you now, that's what makes a difference. So my dry sits nice and flat on the water. Lovely footprint. And then that trigger spot. Now my favourite tool in fly tying. Just rough the whole thing up. As you can see, I'm being very, very gentle when I'm doing this. Not really. Give it a good roughing up. Pull a few of the fibres out. Love a rough fly, as you can tell. And then just comb everything back over. Pull a few fibres out. Push that back just to make sure the eye's open. Now that is one of my top dry flies. Like I say, I do all different colours. You've got the black works on peaty water, you've got the red, absolutely brilliant. Now what I'll do with that now is, I now stick it in silk and muslin, and I'll just put it on a bit of paper, leave it there overnight, and then it's ready to go in my box. Now there couldn't be a simpler tying, but the biggest thing is, if you've got confidence, and you're fishing your flies properly, and you're not leaving it too long, you'll catch. Best of luck.